Dear devotees, I've been relating Shri Krishna's leelas of the Bhagwatam to you. And the last couple of days we've been talking about the Maharas leela. When Shri Krishna took permission from his Yogamaya Shakti Radharani, and then with her grace played on his flute, and with the sound of that flute stole all the gopis' hearts, and they all each in their individual state of prem samadhi came running to where Shri Krishna was standing. At that time, I told you, King Parikshit had a doubt, because Shukadev ji had said that some gopis who were unable to leave their homes and go and meet Shri Krishna, their viraha to meet him was so intense that in that instant all their past karma was burnt. And even though they didn't know that he was God, some of the gopis didn't even know he was God and just loved him the way you would love someone else in this world, yet through that pure love for Shri Krishna, all their past karma was burnt. Their physical body, material senses, material mind, all of it was finished and replaced with a divine mind, divine senses, and divine body. So King Parikshit had asked, how is it possible when they didn't even know he was God? They went beyond Maya, but their love, even as far as the gopis were concerned, those few gopis, some of them who didn't know Shri Krishna was God, their love seemed to be Mayic. And as far as they were concerned, they were just loving somebody. They didn't know it was God. How did they go beyond Maya? So then Shukadev ji first scolded Parikshit for asking such a question and having such a doubt about Shri Krishna. And then he explained the science behind it. He reminded him of the example of Shishupal. And he said, if Shishupal can attain Shri Krishna, get a divine body, and enter into Shri Krishna's divine abode, getting freed from Maya forever, through joining his mind with a negative attachment. He had dvesh for Shri Krishna, so much so that he insulted him 100 times in a row in the open court in front of everybody. He disliked him so much. But his mind was always engrossed in thinking of Shri Krishna, even though it was with what we would call a negative emotion, dvesh. But his mind and Shri Krishna became one. So Shri Krishna is divine. So he explained to Parikshit, if Shishupal can attain him through dvesh bhav, these gopis loved Shri Krishna with their heart and soul. He was their everything for him. Why would you be surprised that they would be able to attain him? It makes no difference whether they knew he was God or not. Such is the nature of God's divine grace, and such is the nature of mental attachment. Whatever you attach your mind to, you get the results of that thing, whether you know the qualities of that thing ahead of time or not. Let's say you attach your mind to a so-called guru who is not God realized and only has in his heart the desire to develop a following and experience the sweet feeling of having people call him great and call him Guruji, but he has no divine state in his heart. If you attach your mind to such a guru, believing that guru to be God realized, what will you get? You'll get that material state that that so-called guru has in his heart. That material ambition, that hypocrisy, that worldliness. That's what you'll get by attaching your mind to such a person, even if they're talking great things about God. So you see, whether we understand the qualities, the true qualities of a person or a thing or not, it makes no difference. You unite with it, you get the result. You take the medicine, whether you know it's medicine or not, you'll get the result. The chemical is going to act in your body. You join your mind with Sri Krishna, knowingly or unknowingly, with love or with hate, any which way, you will attain him. You just create that state of unity. Now, of course, this is only possible during his avatar kal. To attain him in any other way than anukul bhav, it's not possible for us now. So we have to love Sri Krishna with positive feelings. Bhagwatam is not suggesting that this is a valid form of devotion for us to adopt, to fear Sri Krishna like Kans did, or dislike Sri Krishna like Shishupal did and try to join our mind with him in that way. This only happens when he's taking avatar on the earth. Anukulyasya Krishnanushilanam. Rup Goswami says in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu that we should use Anukul Bhav to attach our mind to Shri Krishna. So having explained this part to Parikshit, then Shukdev ji went on to explain what happened. All of the gopis in their individual states of divine absorbment, they all reached there to Shri Krishna, and Shri Krishna was ready to greet them. This is before the actual, what we think of as Ras Leela, Shri Krishna and Radha dancing with the gopis, singing. None of this has started yet. Ras Panchadhyay has 5 chapters, and it's considered to be the very pran. It's called the Panch Pran of the Bhagwatam. See, Bhagwatam is out of the 18 Puran, it's the most important. Within the Bhagwatam, there are 12 what we call cantos, skand. Out of those, the 10th is said to be the heart of the Bhagwatam because that tells Shri Krishna's leelas. And within that 10th canto, these 5 chapters, from chapter 29 to chapter 33, this is called Ras Panchadhyay. So this is the 5 pran, the 5 life breath of the Bhagwatam. So imagine, out of all the Puran, Bhagwatam is most important. Out of all the Bhagwatam, 10th canto is main. Out of the 10th canto, these 5 chapters are the most important. So the Maharas Leela is a very special thing. This is why Shukdev ji took the time to explain right in the beginning that you should not, he told Parikshit, you should not take this as a material interaction. And to further highlight the divinity of this Maharas Leela, Bhagwatam tells us, Nayam Shriyong Unite Tarata Prasada Swaryoshitan Nalina Gandharuchankutonya Rasot Savesya Bhujadanda Grihita Kantha Labdha Shisham Ya Udayad Vrajasundari Nam. This shlok is praising the greatness of the gopis. that imagine these, what ras, what bliss the gopis got to taste. Supreme God put his arm around their neck during Maharas. Atma received Paramatma's touch. The soul receives Brahma Sparsh. If you're sitting, maybe you're doing some work, and a family member comes up behind you and puts their hand on your shoulder, it gives you some relief, like you feel nice. Imagine if God put his hand on your shoulder, or his arm around your neck, or gave you a hug. So this is what souls receive in this Maharas Leela. There are so many things that happen. So this shlok says, imagine even Mahalakshmi could not qualify to receive this. Remember, I told you when she asked Mahavishnu, what are you thinking of when your eyes are closed? And Mahavishnu explained that I'm thinking of the leelas of Vrindavan. And he described, among other things, he described the Ras Leela. Since then, Mahalakshmi had this desire to experience those leelas of Vrindavan, and especially the Ras Leela. So, Yadvan Chaya Shrir Lalana Charattapo Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Dhritavrata. Bhagwatam says she went and did tapasya for a long time with the aim of gaining entrance to Maharas Leela. But she couldn't qualify for that status of the gopis. So she wasn't able to come and join in Maharas. She could watch from the other side of Yamuna river. Even today in Vrindavan, Mahalakshmi's mandir is on the other side of the river, not the Seva Kunj side where Maharas happened. So this first shlok is explaining that what to say of the Apsarai and Devis in Swarg. Even Mahalakshmi couldn't receive what the gopis received from Shree Krishna. Shashti varsha sahasrani maya taptam tapah pura nanda gopavrajastrinam padarenu palabdhaye tathapi namaya praptastasam padarenava. Brahma is saying, I did tapasya. Did Brahma also do tapasya to try to gain entrance to Maharas? No, he didn't. He thought, let me become more humble than that. I'll do tapasya just to receive the foot dust of the gopis. For 60,000 celestial years, he did that. Indra's one day is equal to one cycle of our moon. So 1 month for us is 1 day for Indra. Now imagine how long 60,000 years is for them. Brahma says, I did that much tapasya just to get the foot dust of the gopis. Tathapi namaya prapta. I didn't get it. I couldn't qualify. Imagine. Never mind achieving the status of gopis, which would allow entrance to Maharas. He couldn't even qualify to receive the foot dust of the gopis. Asamaho charana renu jusha mahansyam vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam yadustyajan svajanamarya pathancha hitva Bhejurmukunda padavim shruti bhirvimrigyam. Uddhav, who's another great Paramahans, in fact the leading jnani of that time during Shri Krishna's avatar, He is praying to Shri Krishna after having met and surrendered to the gopis. He also asks for a boon. Can you please make me like a little plant or a creeper or something growing in Vrindavan? Why? He also is not even daring to ask for the status of becoming a gopi. He says, let me become a plant growing somewhere in Vrindavan, because the gopis keep walking around, and if I'm a plant, I'll be guaranteed to get their foot dust. Their foot dust is always flying around, and I'll get some on my head. He says even the Vedas are desiring for the foot dust of the gopis since millions of years, and they haven't been able to receive it yet. Shruti bhir vimrigyam. Vimrigyam, they're still looking. Shrutis are still looking for that foot dust of Veda, of gopis. Not only that, when the sound of the flute went to Kailash abode, Shankar and Parvati ji heard it. They also thought, let us go and join Maharas. Krishna's going to do Maharas. Let's run. Parvati already looks like a gopi. She went and entered directly, joined in with all the gopis. Shankar Bhagwan was so excited, he didn't even consider what his appearance was. Covered in ash, hair matted on his head, holding his trishul, a mala of skulls, a snake and some scorpions and spiders crawling around on him, and wearing nothing but a animal skin. And he comes in a hurry with great enthusiasm to join in, and the gopis said, Baba ji, kahan ja rahe ho? Only gopis are here. You can't just enter like that. And he said, oh, yeah, I forgot. So he asked them, go and request from Radharani if I can take part in Maharas. So this place where the gopis stopped him and he made that request, that place is also marked in Vrindavan, Gopeshwar Mahadev Shrine. So they went and asked, and Radharani said, sure, but he has to take his form as a gopi, because Shivji also has an eternal form as a gopi, Gopeshwar Mahadev. So he resumed that form, and he also entered. So think, if Lakshmi, Shiv, Parvati, they're so excited to come and get a little taste of this Maharas Ras, then what could be the greatness of the gopis, and what could be the greatness of this leela? So all the gopis came running because Shri Krishna had stolen their hearts with the sound of his flute. And when they reached there, he said, oh, gopis, how did you come? In other words, why are you here? What brings you here? Can I help you? Has some Rakshas caused some problems in Braj? What brings you here in the middle of the night? Gopis are quiet, thinking, Inko kya ho gaya? What's gotten into him? He stole our heart. We had no choice but to come running. He promised us he would do Maharas. We've come here, and now he's asking us what brings us here, as if he has no idea what's going on. So Shri Krishna goes on talking. He's testing the resolve of the gopis now. And he's teaching us. So he says, your families must be wondering where you are. It's the middle of the night. There are wild animals around. You shouldn't be out like this without any protection. I'm sure you must have some responsibilities there in your homes. Go back. Bhartu shushrushanam strinam paro dharmo hyamayaya tadbandhunancha kalyanya prajananchanuposhanam. Shri Krishna is lecturing them on what dharma is. And he says, it is the dharma, the paradharma, the supreme dharma of every lady to keep care of her family, serve her husband with guileless spirit. So, उसी में तुम लोगों का कल्याण है, अब वापस जाओ. You can remember me in your heart, think of my form, think of my leelas. You don't need to be next to me to do that. Go. He told them a couple of times. Vrajam, go. So the gopis are listening and they're thinking, okay, let him finish his piece. Let him finish talking. Then we'll see. Remember, the third class of gopis are none other than Richas of the Vedas. And Shree Krishna is lecturing on the dharma of the Vedas. To whom? To those very Vedas who have come in the form of gopis with the desire to receive the bliss of Maharas. So the gopis listen to his explanation of dharma and how he's telling them they should go back home and take care, live up to their duties and responsibilities. So once he was done, those gopis called forth that knowledge and they cut every aspect of his argument, one by one. Yat patya patya suhrida manuvrittirangas Trinam swadharma iti dharma vidatvayoktam astveva me tadupadesha pade tvayishe preshtho bhavan stanubhritang kila bandhuratma. Point number 1. You're telling us about dharma and that what our dharma is and how we should follow the dharma. But you are the ultimate goal of all dharma. Vasudeva paraveda. Vasudeva paro dharmaha. It says in the Bhagwatam itself, the ultimate goal of following dharma is to reach to Shree Krishna. Every vakya, every statement of the Vedas is to take a soul towards Shree Krishna. Sarve Veda Yat Padama Mananti Kathopanishad. Every akshar of the Ved is to take a soul to Supreme God. To hum aa gayi. What's the need for dharma? All the dharmas are for one thing only, to bring a soul to Shri Krishna. Dharmo yasyam madatmakaha. Shri Krishna himself says in the Bhagwatam, dharma is to bring a soul to me. So we've reached you and now you're telling us to leave you and go do dharma? That doesn't make any sense. We're staying here with you. Point number 1. Point number 2. If it is, as you say, the supreme dharma of a woman to serve her husband, you are the husband of all the souls. So we should be here serving you. You are our Atma, of our Atma. See, you yourself have said, Divyo Deva Narayano Mata Pita Bhrata Nivasa Sharanam Surid Gati. This is a statement of Vedas where God is saying, I am your everything. I'm your mother, father, friend, brother, sister, beloved, husband, everything. Shri Krishna himself says in Gita, Bhartu Shushru Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Surit. See, he uses the word Bharta. Just like in Bhagwatam, he said, Bhartuh Shushru. Bharta means husband. So in Gita, he's saying, I'm the husband of all the souls. So we're here to serve you as our divine husband. Point number 3. Patim patinam paramam maheshwaram. Shvetashvataropanishad says, he is the pati of all the patis. Gopis are saying, never mind us. You're not only our husband, you are the husband of our husbands. Because they are also souls. Never mind our husbands, you are Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva's husband. Patim patinam paramam maheshwaram. जितने भी पति हैं, आप उन सब पतियों के परम पति हैं. तो अब हम कहाँ जाएंगी? काट दिया. श्री कृष्ण चुप हो गए. No, that's what he wanted. He wanted the gopis to reveal this knowledge. You see, dharma is of 2 kinds. Aparadharma and paradharma. Aparadharma are all the physical responsibilities, the do's and don'ts for living a good life in the world. And paradharma is loving God, bhakti. Leaving paradharma to do aparadharma should be the other way. Aparadharma should lead a person to paradharma. Paradharma joins you with God, which is your ultimate goal. Aparadharma ye to sansar ko chalane ke liye hai. That's to keep harmony in the family, in the society. It's also necessary, but it's not the ultimate dharma. You have to understand that Shri Krishna is the soul of your soul. So Preshta, you are the beloved of all the souls. Bandhu, you are the well-wisher and friend of all the souls. Atma, you are the soul of every soul. So now that we've reached you, we're not going anywhere. We're sticking here with you. So that was the end of the debate. Shastrarth ho gaya. Now Shri Krishna said, okay, so let's do Maharas. Now you all keep in mind, Gopis also did all of their family duties. Even before Maharas, after Maharas, they're the ultimate example of karma yogis. Other than a few times here or there, like when they ran to do Maharas, they always did their family duties and remembered Shri Krishna all the time with tears in their eyes and their throat choked with emotions and their body thrilling to think of him. But they fulfilled their family responsibilities. But first and foremost in their mind was always Shri Krishna. And that's why Shri Krishna rewarded them with Maharas. So now the next stage in Maharas happened. Shri Krishna took the gopis down to the bank of Yamuna river. And as I described yesterday, the full moon was rising. And it had a pinkish glow, so those pinkish rays were coloring everything in the forest. There was a sweet breeze blowing, carrying the fragrance of many types of flowers that were still blooming at night. And they went down to the bank where there was very soft and fine white sand that was also sparkling in the moonlight. And the waves of Yamuna were also sparkling in the moonlight. So if you've been to Yamuna, you know that in the fall, this is Sharad Purnima, so the river is not that high. So the bank is very wide, like a wide, white, sandy bank. Not a steep, but kind of flat and gradual. So there all the gopis went with Shree Krishna, and Shree Krishna gave them his association. Everything Shree Krishna does is pure bliss. He looks towards someone, they're receiving unlimited bliss. He smiles at someone, they're getting bliss. He puts his arm around someone, unlimited bliss. So in this way, he was interacting with the gopis, showering his affection on them, smiling, joking, talking. And the gopis were enraptured. At this time, to prove again one more time the divinity of this whole situation, Kamdev came and tried to exert his powers on this situation. See, if a material person looks at this situation, their mind is going to go in a material way. Kamdev had the same thing. Oh, this looks like a good scene for me to cast my spell. Kamdev, the god of material love. Shree Krishna knew, and he thought, this is great. We'll get to show again that this is not a material happening. So Kamdev came just seeing this prelude to Maharas. He came with the idea that I'm going to cast my loving spell on this whole crowd. He came, saw, fainted. Done. Before the war even began, he was out cold. So Sri Krishna showed again that Kamdev, the topmost powerful individual when it comes to inciting material desire in a person's heart, he failed in front of gopis and Sri Krishna. And from above now, all the celestial apsaras, maidens, devis, devtas, Brahma, they're all in their aerial chariots and they're watching from above. And they're also just seeing this, they're all also in their own state. Even though they're not really qualified to take part in Maharas, otherwise they would have been there with Sri Krishna, but even just seeing from a distance, they were amazed. So this is how Maharas begins. One very interesting thing about divine personalities is that although their mind is free from material things like anger, desire, hate, lust, attachment, greed, jealousy, completely free from these things. It's not even a struggle for them to control it like us. No, it doesn't even exist in their mind. Only one thing is there, divine bliss. Despite this fact, they sometimes behave in material ways. And there are, see, it's a miracle of the divine love field that divine love can express itself in a myriad of ways. So it can express itself as happiness. It can express itself as getting annoyed with Sri Krishna. It's not a material annoyance. It looks like it, but it's actually just another form of bliss, another way of enjoying the divine bliss. It can manifest as desire. It can manifest as even fear. It can manifest as pride. So the gopis, having this personal association of Sri Krishna, they got a kind of divine pride. Not a material pride, a divine pride. Another expression of their divine state. But Sri Krishna took this opportunity to give them the experience of viraha, the experience of his separation. Seeing that, oh, all these gopis are thinking, of all the women in the world, we're the topmost because Krishna is with us. They had this kind of divine pride. As soon as that pride came in their heart, Shri Krishna vanished. Now imagine the state of the gopis. Some of them have been waiting for lifetimes for this bliss of Maharas. And just when it's beginning, it's snatched from them. And they're left wondering, where did Krishna go? When this happened, their state of absorbment in Shree Krishna became so high that they attained a state of total unity with Shree Krishna, and those gopis, instead of looking for Shree Krishna, felt themselves to be Shree Krishna. And they started walking around like one gopi is walking, saying, "Look at me, I am Kanha," and she's walking with that style like Krishna does, and looking with her eyes. So all the gopis, it was like they became Krishna without dressing up like him. But their hav bhav, their way of talking, way of looking, way of walking, everything was like seeing all these Krishnas. The gopis were in such a state of unity with him. But then, despite that state, they still felt a desire to find him. This viraha is described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji like this: Sangama viraha vikalpe vayamiha viraho na sangamastasmat sanget sa iha tathaikas tribhuvanam api tanmayam virahe. In Milan, you only see Shree Krishna at one place. When Shree Krishna was there with the gopis, there were so many gopis and one Shree Krishna, and they're all enjoying that divine bliss, seeing him. And when he vanished, for the gopis, every particle of Vrindavan became Shree Krishna for them, and they even became Shree Krishna. So Mahaprabhuji says this is a higher state of bliss than the state of Milan. Anyway, in these leelas, Milan and Viraha keep alternating normally. So gopis now went looking for Shree Krishna, and they found his footprints, and they recognized them because on the soles of his feet he has some divine designs. He always walked barefoot. He didn't even wear chappal. Everywhere he went, he was barefoot in Braj. So on the soles of his feet, there's a flag, and there's a thunderbolt, and there's a lotus flower. There's a bunch of different designs. So they recognized those designs in his footprints, and they said, oh, he went this way. So they're following along. And they're asking the trees, have you seen our beloved Kanha? Where did he go? They're asking the plants. They're asking the animals and the birds, did Krishna pass by this way? And they followed him deeper and deeper into the jungle. And eventually they realized there's a second set of footprints with Sri Krishna's footprints. He's not alone. He's taken somebody with him. So who that somebody is, and how and if the gopis ended up finding Sri Krishna, and what happened then in the continuation of Maharas, we'll find out tomorrow. Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.